All right. I just decided to do this last second. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to see if anybody shows up. So far, there's nobody in here, but if somebody goes back, sees this, and watches it, they don't want to just sit there with dead air while I'm sitting there waiting for people to show up. So what happened was, Long Island fraud at Mark actually covered this a little bit. Hey, here we go. We got a couple people in here now. How you guys doing? Internet God, Patty, E2. So I just decided to do this last second because I was watching and I saw a news story covering Erie County audits. And I thought I'd share that with you guys. And then I looked back, I did a little research on it, and I found out a couple other people have covered it. This is from a couple days ago, but I missed it. It was on the 3rd. And so it was 2 days ago. But my favorite part of this, I like the way that the literal journals, I'm going to play the whole thing for you in a minute. Hello, how you doing? So like I said, I'm going to play the whole thing for you from the news in a minute. But what's interesting about it is, first of all, it's an example of how, legitimate journalists are neutral. They don't say that auditing is good. They don't say that auditing is bad. They just report on an auditor. But one of the things that I found fascinating is that they show that this guy was one of the people who stormed the Capitol and on January 9th. And they don't talk about that a little, but they do mention it. So it's like, these are the types of people we're dealing with. He's one of the people that stormed the Capitol. So we're supposed to believe that he's just a nice, harmless nobody who isn't doing anything wrong or to bother anyone. Sure. Before I start that, give a couple minutes, see if anyone else shows up. And how you guys doing today? Good morning, everybody. Like I said, this was just an impromptu thing I came up with because I saw the report and I'm like, oh man, I got to cover this. This is some important stuff, especially because I keep making the point that it seems like this whole auditing thing is growing. And, I always say the more people that are doing this, the more we need to cover it to keep the information out there, about what these guys are really up to. And I think that this news report, because it's just 2 days old, really shows that this is indeed a growing trend and something that the general public needs to be more aware of. Let's see. Anyone got anything to say besides good morning? Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I know this is early. This is early for me too. Last time I did something this early was when I was watching Chili get arrested live, and I'm like, oh, I gotta cover this now. It was too good. Here, let me go ahead and get this started, and see what we got here.
Well, is it a constitutional right or is it baiting law enforcement? We're talking about people recording police
It's
on
baiting.
their own turf.
They call themselves First Amendment auditors, and sometimes these encounters are confrontational. Daniel Warmus of Alden does a lot of these videos. He recently sat down with News 4 Investigates. Luke Moretti reports.
Can I help you?
See this sign?
Get your hands off
You can
me.
see the sign.
On behalf of the Erie County family, I'd like to thank you, Kate, for your cordialness and perfect public service.
You need to leave the area.
I went into it thinking maybe 35% of them might have had a bad ego or might have come across as a jerk. And after doing it, I'd say that number is probably around 75%.
Daniel
Of
Warmus
auditors
is on
that
a
have
mission.
that, yeah.
I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification.
You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told you, don't embarrass me.
Oh, who's
He's
the one with the
testing
attitude problem?
limits of constitutional protections under the First and Fourth Amendments.
Yeah, I'm working on a story. Got to get a little information in.
His YouTube channel, Auditing Erie County, has nearly 20,000 subscribers. His videos get thousands of views and hundreds of comments.
I respect law enforcement completely.
Warmus travels the region with a cell phone camera,
I
documenting
respect law
encounters
enforcement
with
completely, he
police
says.
on their own public turf.
They don't own property. It's public property.
From Amherst
Get your hands off me.
Over here.
Get your hands
You
off
want
me.
to see this sign?
To Dunkirk,
Am I being detained?
You're not being detained right now.
to Cheektowaga,
Do you want to leave or do you want to get arrested?
to Salamanca,
You don't need to take pictures inside the vehicles
Why not?
because
A lot of people say, I can't believe you do this. You got a target on your back. I can't believe that, aren't you afraid that they're going to mess with you?
Warmus will show up at municipal locations and start recording with his phone. He calls it an audit, a concept that's spreading across the country. Not surprisingly, his presence prompts questions, even suspicion, like his visit to the town of Amherst Police and Courts Complex.
We certainly have a responsibility to keep our composure.
Warmus felt that he was within his legal right to access and record outside of the complex, but police challenged him.
It says restricted area.
This public property over here is not restricted access. There's no sign.
It says restricted area.
Warmus later called town supervisor Brian Culpa, and Culpa called him back.
Because a lot of times, a mayor or supervisor or chief, they're not going to call you back.
If they're in a private area, right? If they were in a locked or secure area, if they were inside a secured office environment.
All right, just real quick, anyone who, hey, unclean hands. So if you haven't seen this, I'm showing this news report they did on Erie County audits. And what's great about this is they're basically selling him, or he's selling himself as like this, like they all do, right? Oh, I'm just recording my own business. But in this report, they show what kind of a person he really is. Wait till they show where he was on January 6th or 9th or whatever it was. You guys know what I'm talking about. You'll see.
That would be a different animal. But if they're in public space, then, they're residents or citizens that, have the right to be there.
The U.S. Capitol on January 6th of last year was not among the places Warmus had a right to enter, according to the U.S. Justice Department. Warmus was arrested and charged with knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority. Federal court papers included photographs of him at the Capitol that day. Warmus declined to talk specifically about the case against him because it's still pending.
Nobody's ever brought it up on an audit or nothing. I'm sure they know.
These days, he's...
All right, so we got this guy who is trying to sell himself to us and his audience as being this innocent guy doing audits like they all do, right? But they know for a fact that he was one of the guys who stormed the Capitol. So this is the type of personality we're dealing with here, and we're supposed to believe he's just a nice, sweet, innocent guy who happens to have a camera.
Busy focusing on auditing local municipalities, mainly police agencies. And he isn't alone. There are others with similar YouTube channels.
And what they really want is for you to engage with them and to make you look bad.
Across New York State, police are on to this unique social movement. Patrick Phelan is the executive director of the New York State Association of Chiefs of Police.
You need to have an understanding of how to react to somebody doing that to you, and understand that the best thing that you can possibly do is just not engage with them.
Daniel Warmus of Auditing Erie County says he tries to keep his encounters as professional as possible. He believes there is a credibility component at stake on both sides of the camera for him and his audience, and the police being tested.
I would consider it investigative journalism. I'm investigating
Lies.
whether the towns or the police departments are going to respect my First Amendment rights to record in public. I want to highlight good police officers. That's my goal. I'm out there to highlight good police officers, but on the aspect of, am I out there to embarrass them? I would much rather use humility.
If you just help me out and tell me who you are, who you're working for, whatever you're doing, maybe this will go a little better. But this is just a random guy taking pictures of police cars.
Is it illegal?
I'd say it was illegal, but it's strange.
For police, it's really a training issue to make sure that you don't engage with these folks. If they're legally in a place where they're allowed to be and they're recording, just let them do it.
Daniel Warmus and others who do these First Amendment audits say they have a right to test police when it comes to their restraint and knowledge of the Constitution. And while it's ruffling some feathers here in Western New York and across the country, There's a social media audience out there with a big appetite for more. Luke Moretti, News 4.
Yeah. So anyway, that I had to cover that because when I saw that this morning, I was like, wait a minute. First of all, this guy obviously, like I said, they showed in the report, he's one of the people who stormed the Capitol, but he's still trying to sell himself as this sweet, innocent little nothing who just happened to have a camera once in a while, right? And saying that they don't bait the police, that they're not looking for a bad encounter, and all, we all know that that's not true, going out of their way not to identify themselves or whatever. But the other reason why I wanted to get into this is because I was mentioning this the other day, yesterday, actually on my live, is this idea that the police are now being trained, and they mentioned it specifically in there, not to engage with these people, which is just encouraging the audits of private businesses that we're starting to see now more and more. Because if the cops are specifically being told, don't engage, don't engage, don't engage, and they're looking for a police engagement, that's their goal, although they'll never state that, right? That's why they audit regular people and regular businesses, so that those guys will call the cops, and then the cops are forced to engage with them. It's ridiculous. And I've been saying, I think this is a growing trend, and now that report, that's exactly what they're saying. And it's just putting it out there for more idiots to see this and be like, oh, that's a good way to make a few bucks. Just go harass the people and film it. Cool. I'm going to get paid now too. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, cheeky monkey, right? Like, yeah, just ignore the guys with the cameras until like there's somebody who's planting a bomb or looking for a place to plant one. Good morning from Ottawa, Canada. Well, hello, welcome to the stream. I was just covering a news report about the Erie County audit that came out 2 days ago, talking about this growing trend for auditing. And they interviewed him. He was on there defending himself, saying, "Oh, I just want to hold police accountable." And then they showed footage of him being one of the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th, just to show what a good guy he is. Oh my gosh. It's embarrassing. Well, anyway, I just wanted to cover that real quick, make sure I mentioned it while it was still a newsworthy source of news, is the actual news, not these idiots walking around filming all that nonsense. Let's see if there's anything else going on today. I just broadcast last night, so I think I'm pretty much caught up with all of the hard-hitting news of the frauditing community for the day. Let's see if there's anything else I could cover while I'm on here with you guys anyway. Let's see, what do we got that's new? Let's see. What do you guys think? Should I just wrap it up here, or do you guys want to watch some more stuff? Being an a-hole as a career choice. Yeah, Maury and Jerry. Maury Povich and Jerry Springer, yes. Yeah, they did. They made it. And that, and to a certain extent, jackass, right? Like going around doing stupid stuff and filming yourself doing it and then getting paid for it. Even Blue Bloods has a subplot with a frauditor. Uh-oh. I didn't even realize that. But my favorite. My mom's screaming in the background. That's her favorite show. I've never watched it. I have no idea. I just know that Minnesota Guardian got a continuance. I like Selleck and Tom Selleck, yes. All right. Well, let's see. I just got let's see what the newest one we have here is. Let's watch it together for the first time and see. This is from News Now NYE as opposed to News Now NME. Let's not get them confused. I don't know what this video is. I haven't watched it yet, but it says female cop says stop recording but gets owned. So I'm assuming it's probably a good one. So let's take a look at it and see what we got here. Hi, Mom. Unclean Hand says hi, Mom. Hi. she says hello. All right. Let's get this on here. See. All right.
knows how to
Wow,
exercise
that's
his
loud.
rights while these bullies at the NYPD try to violate them. Please head over to Queens Village Press and show him the support that he deserves.
Come on. There you go. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here? He already referred to the cops as bullies, so let's see what they're doing. They're minding their own business. Okay. He's filming them. Okay, cool. You filmed them. Nothing happened. Audit done, right? Go about your business. No, still filming. Okay. Because you're protecting citizens from these evil cops. They're not even doing anything. He's still filming, so now they're going to be like, what's up? That makes sense to me.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Your wife videotaping our parking lot?
I'm just recording. I'm working on a personal project about the NYPD. That's it.
It's a security issue that you're videotaping our parking lot.
Oh, all right.
Wow, look at those
How's it
evil
going?
bullies.
Good.
Look at how horrible those
she
cops
recorded
are.
me.
Standing there and talking. Oh, how
Yeah,
dare
no,
they?
no ill will, no intent. I'm just recording. Yeah.
Record from outside the gate, but you can't record in.
Oh, all right, well, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you guys can close this thing, huh? Close this gate right here, and then I won't be able to see in it. But I mean, there's still cracks and stuff in there.
Oh.
Doesn't make a difference.
As long as you're right outside.
Yeah, I'm outside now.
No, but I'm saying outside this way.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just stand behind that
Because
pole.
like,
And...
I'm putting it to you this way. God
Yeah.
forbid somebody comes in, for example, somebody gets
Mhm.
arrested, and they were to, let's say, escape and try to fight you, and God forbid something happens to you, that's
Okay.
a security risk for us.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
Well, that's up to you guys to not make that happen, right?
That's what they're trying to do by asking you to leave.
It's just more of a security issue that you're filming into. It's basically this counts as inside of our precinct, and we don't allow filming inside of our precinct.
I can't see anything inside the precinct,
This is technically considered inside the precinct as well.
but it's outside the precinct.
I mean, sir, I'm not really going to go back and forth.
Yeah, me neither. I
Saying, well,
mean,
that's what
I'm
you're
good.
looking for is
No,
for a rise
you
out
came up to
Yeah,
me. No,
yeah.
I don't want to rise out of you. Just go back
I'm just
to.
asking you respectfully. I can't go back until you stop recording.
Oh, I guess they're gonna be here for like 10 minutes then. How's it going? Is that guy higher up? We could have asked him. But
If you'd like me to get my supervisor out here, I'm more than happy.
I mean, if you want to, yeah, I guess. Because you're gonna be out here for like 10, 15 minutes just staring at each other. So.
Oh, yeah, that's not baiting or fishing.
I'm all right.
He's just.
Nice day.
yeah, it is.
Cool precinct. What is it? 3 floors?
Something like that.
3 floors and a basement, or just? Cool. You have a business card with you?
With me? Yeah, you want me to go? You want?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Well, you're gonna stay there for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
Take your time, man.
Wow.
All right, so she's gonna go ahead and get her supervisor for whatever reason.
So if anyone missed the
Stay here
beginning,
and wait for him.
they talked about how these cops were being horrible bullies. And have you seen all the bullying that's been going on
Oh,
so
man.
far? They calmly
Never
spoke
make
to
it easy,
him.
right?
Oh, horrible. Oh, my goodness. I can't
I mean, you
believe
just
the
stand right here
audacity
and
of these
still
cops
clearly
to
see very much
calmly
inside,
speak
so
to a human
I don't really see what
on
the
earth.
security issue is,
How
but
dare they?
Guess we'll find out when the supervisor comes out. Vehicle 4284. That looks like a car that they're gonna take. I don't know, man. To me, it seems like she just got upset with me filming and decided to take it upon herself to tell me to leave. Security issue. What if someone in this house is recording every single day, right into your lot?
Oh, did I miss something? Did they tell him to leave? Did they give him any unlawful directives, or did they ask him not to film that area and try to explain to him why they were asking him not to film it? That's what I saw.
You have a business card with you? Thanks.
Now that I love. You got a business
That's
card?
what they do.
Yep,
That's
and then
fine.
walks
Close the
away.
gate, but I mean,
That was beautiful.
Still very much see right inside, so that's pointless. But
Sounds like you're the one getting owned
they
for your
wanted to
video
make your lives
titled
harder.
"Cop Gets Owned."
102nd Precinct in Richmond Hill.
And this is what I call groundbreaking news story right here. There's a fence and a gate. Now, he hasn't said anything. I'm waiting for him to, because I haven't seen this video. I don't know, but I'm waiting for him to say they closed the gate because of him.
Give me business cards.
Because if you remember, a car drove through.
That's
So the
yours?
gate was obviously open
Cool.
for that car to get through, and they closed it after the car left.
You spoke to your supervisor?
No, I just want to go get the coffee.
Oh, okay, cool. Because she closed the gate, so I guess she spoke to him, and then he kind of just said what I said. It's like close the gate. If you want to make the privacy, you gotta make it. Thanks, man. What's your last name? Jimenez? Jimenez. Okay, cool.
They can't even read. Jimenez.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No worries.
Jimenez, Jones, Smith, Garcia, Gonzalez.
Did you speak with your supervisor? Is he coming out or?
I just want to
Okay.
let you know everything's being recorded on body camera.
Okay.
Here you go.
Did he
You've
say
asked
anything about
you've
me
asked
standing here?
You've asked for my business card. I'm giving you.
All right.
my
Did he say
business card.
anything about me standing here, or we're all good?
You're allowed to stand on the sidewalk. You're not allowed to film it inside the parking lot, which you continue to do. If you decide to come into the parking lot, you will be arrested for criminal trespassing.
Right. But I'm all good out here, right? So that's why you closed the gate. Cool. All right.
I knew it. I knew he was going
Yeah,
to
man.
say they closed the
Appreciate
gate because of him. Always got to put themselves in the center of the universe.
All right. So the 102nd Precinct here in Richmond Hill.
Wow. Okay, so they made two claims at the beginning of the video that the cops were being bullies and that they got owned. So can anyone in the comments tell me what the cops did that was bullying by talking nicely to him and then handing him business cards?
Show number 20771, Officer Volpus.
And how did he own
Volpus,
them?
If you're watching this, Volpus, I probably butchered your name.
Like
Sorry about
what?
that. But,
Nothing happened. Literally nothing happened.
Can't just go around making up laws saying I can't record because it's a security risk.
You're still recording. Nobody stopped you from recording. You're still recording.
Cool. Because their supervisor isn't coming out, so I'll just be on my way.
None of the claims made at the beginning of this video turned out to be true.
No supervisor needed. Okay, this is the 102nd Precinct, again here in Richmond Hill, Queens, New York. And we'll take a walk to the front.
This video's almost over. Yeah, there's nothing. What? what did the great one always say? Schrodinger's cat. You got to lie to fraud it. Talk about clickbait. Cop gets owned. Bully
Right.
Cop gets owned. Like
Unfortunately,
that's
going to be a fail.
how's it a fail? What did they do?
Yeah.
They literally did
When
nothing.
that happens, I wish they could just leave you alone, let you film and be on your way and not say anything to you. But they just, I don't know what it is, but they just feel like they have to.
They have to
just
figure out why
directly
some
discourage
idiot
you
is
inside of them, like
standing
this
out there
first
filming.
thing
If they
to
need
talk
help,
to you.
the first thing they
The
said is,
other
"Do
dude
you
was
need
cool,
help?"
though. But yeah, she kind of got in her feelings about me recording, and that's unfortunate. This is the 102nd Precinct here. in
You're
Richmond
still
Hill,
recording.
Queens, New York.
Nobody stopped you from recording. What are you talking about?
All right.
False narrative
Queens
building.
Village Press. I'm out. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this video,
No, I didn't. That was horrible. Clickbait everywhere. Yeah. Can't con people without lying. And that whole thing, that whole interaction that we just watched, right? I decided to I never saw that video before. I didn't know. I just clicked on it because it said bullies, female cop gets owned. And then at the beginning, they're like, watch these bullies try to intimidate this guy. And what happened? I mean, we just watched it. What happened? Cops came out. Do you need anything? I mean, he's standing there. Maybe he's at a police station. The police want to know if you need help. They didn't say, hey, how dare you film us? Get out of here with that. No, they said, you need anything? No, I don't. All right, well, just letting you know this area, there's a secured area. We don't necessarily feel comfortable with you filming this area. Oh, well, that's too bad. Oh, okay. Can I have your business cards? Sure. And you walk in, you get the business cards, give them to them, and then go home. What's the problem? Where's the bullying? Where, who got owned? What are you talking about? And then, oh, that's a fail. I don't know why they have to talk to people. Why can't they just not interact with the public at all? We don't want to try and build good relationships between police and people. We want the police to just completely ignore everyone. And if you're standing there shooting somebody, let them, I guess. I don't know. Oh, man. Hey, just another nut. Welcome back. They got to do whatever they can do to get clicks and views. That's it. That actually, you know what? I'm glad I picked that one. Because like I said, I had no idea what it was. But after watching it, it's like you talk about clickbait and just trying to get the views by titling your video that the cop gets owned and saying that they were bullies. And then you watch the video and the cops literally didn't do anything except ask them a couple of questions. Not even the quote unquote unlawful directives. They didn't say, where's your ID or who are you? Or you better, they didn't even say any of that. They said, you need help? No. All right. Well, please just don't film this stuff. Okay. Here's my business card. Have a nice day. That's it. That's literally what happened. Oh, and they're selling it like it's these big, horrible, evil cops. These people really get on my nerves, man. Well, that's why I do this, right? All right, let's see if we got anything else that just came out that we could go over. Let's see. Oh, the news report that I just covered is on the list too. Let's see, what else do we have here? Do all the News Now channels pay franchise fees to David Earl Warden? Well, actually, it keeps coming up, so I'm not doing this on purpose, but that's one of the things I mentioned in my new book, The Frauditor's Handbook, is in my tips and tricks section. It says you have to name your YouTube channel. You should name it something like News Now, whatever city or state. It's one of the things I talk about. Let's see. Auditors want nothing more than to get attention and money in any way possible. That's right. It's almost like the idiot in grammar school who cried, "You think you're better than me?" to anyone who did their homework on time. Oh, Unclean Hands ordered a handbook, and he should be getting it today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wait till you read it. It's a fun read. I think. I hope so. So far, I did on one of my live streams, I did where I read it out loud, and people seemed to be entertained, and they liked it. So let's see. News Now, Floyd be down. Well, let's see if, like I said, I like to cover the stuff as long as, let's see. Oh, Bay Area Transparency just released San Miedo Juvenile Hall. And I love the ones where these people audit juvenile facilities because people really get antsy about filming kids. So let's go out of our way to do that. Yes. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Hopefully it'll have something happen in it, unlike the last one. But then again, we'll see. What's up, Bay fam?
It's your boy Bay Area Transparency, and we're back at it once again. And for this video, I'm taking you back to San Mateo County to the juvenile hall. Now, I did this video right around the time that we were in the Redwood City probation office. I think it was the next day, actually. We went back into this office. They were ready for me. They had got an email that I'd be coming. But we had some conversation with supervisors, security guards, another mediocre probation officer, so on and so forth. So you guys will see mediocre. They still have the signs up that say no photography, no recording, strictly prohibited. So we had a conversation about those signs. Hopefully we can get those pulled down. Anyways, go check us out on our Instagram. We're growing there every single day. I'm working on other things, a website, some other things are going on. I got a lot going on.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we even get into it, did he just say that his goal is to get the no filming signs taken down from a juvenile facility? A juvenile facility? Like, I'm dumbfounded. Oh, no.
On in the background, I'm also gathering content, which is why you haven't seen a video in a couple days. But don't trip, baby. I'm still here. Now, the first person who finds the hidden misspelled word will get their comment pinned all the way to the top of the comment section. All you have to do is comment what the word was and the timestamp you found it at. That way we can all interact on your comment. It will not be an exaggerated word. It will be a misspelled or misused word. It won't just be missing punctuation or anything like that. Give us a like.
I don't
share.
care.
Definitely.
What's funny is they have this. Seems like this is a San Mateo County thing. We got one worker here who hasn't even asked me if I needed help at all.
I thought you wanted them to leave you alone.
All right, so she's getting a call about me right now.
Assumption.
All right, I hear him talking outside. So somebody called her, and now I hear the security guards outside talking about me as well. So we will give it some time and see what happens. I mean, they could be helping me, right? Ask if I need anything. I'd ask for complaint forms and Freedom of Information Act requests, but
I thought they were supposed to leave you alone. I thought that was what you guys
so
wanted.
yeah, we got to work on these guys taking these signs down right here. Let's go check out here real quick. See what else they got going on. This door. Authorized personnel. This is probably where probation's at, I think.
Oh, now that he's heading
Thank you.
towards yep.
Really? Yeah, I was looking at that. That's behind the doors though, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. They're all connected. They're all probation.
Right, but in here, I'm good, right? Or right here?
Yeah, it says there no cameras, no pictures taken.
But behind the doors? Because I seen the sign behind the door. Yeah.
But this is just
Right.
the front office, but you can't enter this building.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going in. I'm just taking some pictures of it. I should be able to. It's public.
Well, it says there no recording, no pictures, no, you know.
Yeah, they haven't said nothing. They're not. They see me. Yeah, they see me taking pictures in there. So.
Just to be sure, but you know, with security, we just do what we told.
Gotcha. Cool. So this is like side of probation right here.
They're never just taking pictures. And look at, I mean, all right. Now, I'm going to stop right here for a second because I want to mention this. All right. So the false narrative that they build, one is that they're just taking pictures, which they're not. They're taking video. And also the idea that, like, for example, right now, what is he doing? All right. I'm not trying to bait people. I'm not trying to cause a scene. I'm not trying to make any trouble. So I'm going to go up to a door that is specifically an unauthorized personnel, no access, printed prominently on the door. So I'm going to approach it. Now, especially that I know the security guards are watching me, I'm going to go out of my way to get up even closer to that door and make it look like I'm about to open it by filming through the little crack in the window. Like, how could I possibly believe that that's not baiting? How could anyone possibly believe that they're not doing that on purpose to cause a negative reaction? He knows now that the security guards are watching him, so he's going to walk right up to the door and film through the little window. Close, but not over the line. And that's the problem. They go as far as they possibly can without actually doing that so that they have an excuse. Oh, I was just filming. It's a bunch of crap. It's baiting. It's phishing. It's garbage.
Pretty big probation office. Cool.
You can't do that in here.
What was that?
You can't do that in here.
I should be able to.
There's a sign right here.
I've seen the signs, but what I saw is the one back there, and I think that's kind of where they mean.
Right here too.
In the lobby.
Yeah, there's a sign right there. That's right here.
I should be good because it's a public.
Read that sign properly.
I can read it, but it's a public lobby, so I should be good.
There.
I get that, but it's.
So if you get it, put your phone on. It's that simple.
Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's that simple. It's a public lobby, bro. I'm in public.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. Let me go back to his text there, because, like I said, I haven't seen this video, so I don't know what's coming. We've got a few minutes left. In fact, it looks like it's got quite a bit of time left. But all right, so they believe so much they're right because there's a sign on the wall that says no filming. So of course they think they're right because there's a sign that says no filming. Just because you decide you want to disregard the sign doesn't mean that the people in the building aren't going to say, look, there's the posted, no filming. It's a juvenile facility. How is that an unreasonable request? I hate when these guys are dealing with minors and don't or make the claim that they don't understand why anyone would be upset about that. They begin to disrespect you, be aggressive, and even try to put their hands on you due to having the wrong info up like these signs. So there's still a while left in the video. Let's see how disrespectful, aggressive, and hands-on the cops actually get with this guy. And hopefully they do all three. I'm looking forward to seeing all three of those things happen.
I'm gonna do that. It's that simple. It's a public lobby, bro. I'm in public. I can take pictures. That's crazy. Security guard got a weird freaking attitude instead of listening.
Why would he listen to you telling him that his rules don't apply to you? Why would he listen?
Now they're going to the sheriff's office. I had
Good.
this argument with the San Mateo sheriffs just yesterday at probation in Redwood City. So they should be trained on this now. See, what I see and what I agree with that they can restrict is you got no cell phone usage here beyond this point, and then they have the sign back there. Now that's agreeable. That is, I can agree on that. But as far as in here, I'm good until I get up to where they got a courtroom or something like that, which I'm not going. I'm just staying in this public lobby right here. And we'll see if we can get a complaint form. Can I get some help? I wanted to see if you guys had a citizen's complaint form for the probation officers. All right. Well, looks like here comes the sheriff. It's one of those people that go around filming everything, so it sounds like these security guards know what a First Amendment auditor is and does. Well, if that was the case, they would know that this was okay. At least if they watch the videos or somewhat look at them, they should be getting a little bit of an education from it.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, how about you?
Good. What, taking pictures, is that what the?
Pretty much.
Okay. Just to let you know, there are some, it's not the sheriff's office, but it's a probation department on there. Anyway, there are signs for that. So what they kind of generalize is that anything outside the building is fine, but inside, they're trying to protect juvenile confidentiality. So,
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's not the way it works. Like, they can put up these signs all they want. It doesn't pertain to this lobby, so.
Okay.
You know, I've already taken pictures back in here. I'm waiting on a complaint form now, so I mean, it is what it is. I can do this, so.
Okay, very good.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
So, looks like they'll get an education. Very simple. At least he wasn't like the San Mateo sheriff from yesterday that was super aggressive and ready to go hands on. This guy at least knows his job. I mean, he tried to like lie a little bit and kind of insinuate that I couldn't record in here. But once he knew that I was going to tell him that I.
All right, so a couple things real quick. First of all, I'm watching the video and I'm not paying as much attention to the chat, so I'm not sure exactly what happened. But unclean hands, he's unclean hands. He's the man. You know, if he thinks that something's over the line, then that's fine with me. You know, but in general, you know, if somebody just has a different opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean I have a problem with it. Like I said, I wasn't really paying that much attention to the chat at that time, so I'm not sure what he did or didn't say. But you know, whatever. He you know, I trust unclean, so if he determined that he was going over the line, then that's what it is. But again, if for me, if you're just saying that, oh yeah, you just have a different opinion, that's fine. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But anyway, oh, thank you. Getting back to the video we're watching, there's a couple things happening right now. The cop just talked to him, right? And said, hey, you know, you're not supposed to film in here, but as long as you're not filming any kids or whatever, it's cool. You know, you do what you got to do. But where's this? What was he saying earlier? That he made 3 claims earlier, right? He said that they're going to be aggressive and they're going to go hands-on and all this nonsense. And I haven't seen any of that yet, but there's still a little bit of time left in the video. Let's see if any of that stuff that he claims that they're doing to him actually happens, or if it's just more false narrative building. Like I said, I kind of hope that those things do happen.
I could. It was, he just walked away. So these signs shouldn't even be up, because what happens is they mislead the employees, you know. Probation officers, the security guards, whoever, they mislead them into thinking that that's a real sign and you have to follow that and listen to that. And then all of a sudden they make a big deal, or they want to come out and get hands on, or the probation officers want to push their, you know, authority around, or so on and so forth. Like, so many things can happen just because they have these signs. These people think that they're right, but they're not. And that's not the way it works. And, you know, and it gets everybody in trouble, right? It gets us beat up sometimes, or, you know, us arrested, and then we have to file lawsuits or just deal with an arrest. You know, it just makes a problem. So they should definitely take these signs down.
How about you just stop doing it, and then they don't have to?
Let's go record by these doors again.
They wouldn't even need the signs if it wasn't for idiots like you.
I'll give them some time to find my forms. Looks like this guy's gonna come out. I'll let him out.
There he goes again. Look at him.
He can't come in here.
They're tripping.
See, more stupidity and idiocracy. Wait. Let me bigify this so I could read that again. Let's see. It's crazy. I have done nothing that would alarm anyone, but they're all acting like I'm on a rampage or something. Okay. I didn't do anything that would alarm anyone. So what is he doing? He's walking up to the second time, he's walking up to a door that is clearly marked no admittance, walking up as close as he can to the door so he could film through the little window. How is that nothing that would alarm anyone? Like, I get it. I didn't go through the door, so it's okay. But if you walk right up to it as if you're about to enter and stick your camera on the little window, how are people not supposed to be alarmed by that? How are people not supposed to assume that you're about to try and enter? Like, ugh. All right, and just real quick, I'm looking at the chat again, David. Yeah, again, I trust Unclean. He's one of my mods for a reason. So that's fine, you know, whatever decision he makes. But again, like I said, if it's not to the point where it's like straight up vicious stuff, just a different opinion, I personally don't have a problem with that. But again, I trust my mods to do their job. And so it is what it is. Just keep it respectful. And you know, you talk about they don't cross the line, you don't cross the line, and we'll be good. Yes, Jay Carr. See, and that's another one of the big arguments that I make. If it's absolutely a fact that you're allowed to record anything in public, and this is the thing, like they make these circular arguments. They'll say anything I could see. But if you have a camera which has a zoom lens, you could zoom in on things that you can't see with the naked eye. So then what? And if you're standing outside of someone's house using a telephoto lens to zoom in on their private bedroom and them taking their clothes off or something, well, since you're standing on a sidewalk, that makes it okay for you to do that? That's essentially the argument. And because the policy of this building, because it's a juvenile facility, is no recording, he's there specifically to get those signs removed, and everyone who enforces them is wrong. You're the one who's wrong for even going there. And his stated purpose is to go against the signs that say no recording. So he's specifically purposely going out of his way to record because recording is not allowed. And that's his stated purpose for being there.
I absolutely will not go in there because I know I can't.
Yeah, I figured you.
Pretty common sense, right?
Yeah, I figured you.
For sure. If I know I can do this and you guys have signs up that say we can't, I for sure know I can't go in there, right? No. Thank you guys. It's crazy. Yeah, it's just it's funny. You pull a camera out and people start tripping out.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, the whole point would be to get them to take these signs down. Because what happens is, like, for you guys, you see the signs, right? And you guys say, you can't record in here, period, because the sign says so. And so somebody like me comes in and we push it, right? And then something happens, you guys jump on them or push the issue when you shouldn't, something like that. And it creates just problems when they shouldn't even have the signs up. So that's part of it. So what? I know, but it's just not, it's not a legal sign. It's actually illegal because it's a. Okay. I see we're not gonna agree. That's not true because it's not a law. That's why the officer came and walked away. Yeah. So unfortunately, that's not true. It is true. It's true. It is our place. Yeah, it's the people's place for sure. This is so. It's like I said, they should take these down so you guys don't, like you do. You think that sign is the law and that people have to follow it, and then we don't. So, and that's what I'll do. You guys don't have to worry about that. So I'll get this video, I'll forward it to their bosses. I'll point out that, hey, you guys have these signs up. You need to take them down. This is a public lobby. We can do that. Hopefully they'll take the signs down. You guys will never have this problem.
All right. So the Bay fam will push these guys to get these signs removed. I wonder if could be considered, instigating. And see, that's another thing. Because again, as this is going, I'm listening to this and I'm watching the comments now, and these idiots must be stopped. Yeah, it's crazy how these guys go into places like this, and this is similar to what Long Island Audits did in Berwyn, right? They said there was a sign on the door saying no filming, so they went in there filming because there was a sign saying no filming. Like, well, I have the right to film. It's like somebody pointed out earlier, it's never the camera. It's never the camera. All of these videos, and this is one of the main points with this whole thing, the fact that these videos exist at all is proof that nobody's stopping them from filming. If you were being stopped from filming, how would you have the video to post? It's never about the filming. It's never about the camera. It's always about the idiot holding the camera and his actions and the things he says and does. And the fact that nobody knows who they are, they're creeping around a juvenile facility. Why? Oh, well, because it says no recording. Okay, but this is a juvenile facility. Why are you acting like a creeper walking around looking through windows and recording the juvenile facility? And are you trying to help somebody plan their escape? Are you trying to? No, I'm just filming. But we're supposed to believe you because you said that? And look at what these people are doing. Even in this still shot where I just happened to pause. What are they doing? They're sitting down and they're talking to the guy, having a conversation. Oh no, what a violation of rights. How horrible that they sit there and talk to the guy. How dare they? Oh no.
Again, because you'll know people can do this. It's a public building, a public entity, man. I'm telling you, I know how this works. So I will. Okay. Anyways, I'm just trying to teach you a little bit here. That's all. I know, but that's the problem. If you guys do something and you're blindly following this, you could get sued personally. Well, and why go through that when they have a sign up that say, yeah, you're one of those people who just do their job. But this could cause you problems, and it's not worth that little job that pays you $20 an hour. It's not worth it. So. Did we get it? Nice. Thank you very much. Who's the chief probation officer? Are they here? A supervisor, one of them? I just want to talk to him about these signs real quick. Well, can we find out? I mean, I need to talk to a supervisor. So. This is a simple request.
If you want to wait, you can sit down.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll just keep doing my thing until they come. There we go, 148.6.
All right, you got the paperwork you wanted. You can go now. Audit done, right? Oh, no, of course not.
There's somebody out there says true. There we go.
So even though it's posted no filming, he's still filming and they're still letting him. Where's the civil rights violation?
This guy knows.
Where's the
this
abuse?
Guy knows what time it is. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Hey, so they gave me a complaint form that I asked for, but I want to talk to like a supervisor, probation officer, or somebody real quick, just about these signs. I mean, you know enough to know, right? So
Let me do my legal spin.
What is it?
Let me do my legal spin.
Okay.
I'm not to engage you, okay?
Well, you guys still have to give me service, though.
Yeah, and they should be able to help you at the window.
So yeah, is there a supervisor? I've asked for it, but
And they should dispatch one for you.
Okay, you know how long it'll take?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a supervisor.
Got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying what you said. Appreciate it. A lot of people don't understand that.
Okay, this I'm not to engage with you nonsense needs to stop as well. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They always say that when it's a fail, they failed because they engaged them. They should just leave us alone, right? That's Amagansett Press's big thing. That was the big thing in the last video we watched. Oh, that they should just not say anything. They should just leave us alone. So now they're being instructed to leave us alone, and now that's wrong. How dare they leave us alone? They're our servants. They're supposed to serve our whims, right? Do your job. They are trying to do their job. They're at a juvenile facility. You have no idea what's going on inside there right now. Maybe the supervisor is dealing with two kids beating each other up in the dining room. Who knows what's going on? Nobody knows. You don't know. But he has to drop what he's doing and come running to you because you have a phone with a camera on it. So you're the center of the world and everyone else could just screw off and do what you say and drop what they're doing and get on their knees and follow your orders because you have a camera.
So that guy did all right. He did exactly like he's supposed to. Treat him like another person, give him service, act like the camera's not there. This is a public building. That was beautiful. That was well said. Everything just perfect.
Wait a minute, 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 wait a minute. Didn't he just put text on the screen dissing that guy? And now he's saying the guy did a great job? Once again, I'm befuddled. How do you even respond to these idiots? Contradict.
So you can tell this lady didn't even want to get me somebody to speak to at all. It was kind of foul, not really offering a good service, but hopefully within the next couple minutes we'll get a supervisor down here. We could just talk to him about the signs and then we can be on our way. Maybe this is a supervisor. Let's see. Nope, not a supervisor. Oh, they're back in. Oh, this could be our supervisor. Hello. Yeah, are you a supervisor? Yes. Are you my supervisor? Awesome. So, obviously, you guys understand a little bit about what I'm doing here as far as recording goes, right?
Being an idiot, yeah.
And I noticed that you guys have these signs up, which in a public
Because she
lobby
doesn't
right
know
here,
who you
obviously,
are.
we can record. Even the officer came down and spoke with me and understands that because it's a public lobby, we can record. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this video and send it. I guess I probably have an email address now that I can send it to, but how do we go about getting these signs removed on the inside of this lobby? And I'll tell you why.
Because you're an idiot?
Go ahead.
I have to explain why. That the signs are there for a reason. And so we'll definitely, take what you're saying into consideration.
Well, but they're obviously not legit. Like there's no law backing this. People can record in here. Even your probationers, like even if they were on probation, they still have their First Amendment right. They can come in and record. And the reason why I'm saying is you get a situation like maybe some probation officers who don't know that we can record. Maybe they get a little aggressive with somebody, put their hands on somebody, and now we have.
Of course she doesn't. You're an idiot babbling nonsense. Why would she want to listen?
We have a lawsuit over something that's not even legal, and then we have issues, right? So you're kind of giving these people a false sense of like somebody has to obey this sign or else type thing. They can go to jail when it's not true. And it could cause problems later. So that's why, I mean, it's bigger than what you guys think, right?
Well, thank you for that.
He's a Nazi.
So what can we do to get them removed?
I can't really answer that question for you.
Okay, is there somebody here that can?
No.
So nobody can answer the question?
The way it looks on videos, it looks like you're an idiot.
That nobody can answer the question. There's got to be somebody that's able to make this decision.
Would you like to speak with our chief about it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whoever can make this decision.
Here's his business card.
Okay, perfect.
And you can reach out to him.
Oh, that's perfect. Then I could do that. No problem. I can send him an email along with this video. And then what we'll do is I get hundreds of thousands of people who will back me. They'll send emails and calls as well. So
call flooding.
We'll
That's
do a big
good.
Push and see if we can't fix this for you guys. So
fix it.
That way we don't create a false sense of this is a law. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, we don't want people to
name?
think that it's not okay to film juveniles in a juvenile facility.
Awesome. You want me to copy you on the emails?
No.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, always trying to be respectful and positive and professional. So thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Have a good day. So that's pretty much what we get, the standoffish, approach and standoffish attitude from the probation officers. She's looks like she's the assistant deputy chief. So she's not the deputy chief. She's number 2. And she didn't even want to hear it. She's like, those signs are up and that's that. But you guys are creating an issue by having these signs up. You're creating a potential lawsuit.
You're the one who's
getting hurt, something of that nature.
What?
And this
What are
is a
you
juvenile
talking
detention
about?
facility. This is
Right.
like basically a law enforcement agency that's supposed to ensure the laws are protected, the
They're
Constitution
trying
is
to, but
protected.
you're
Yet
idiot.
they have that attitude that no, we can do this and that's it, and we really don't care what you say. So let's let them know how we feel about this. Let them know. I mean, this was a
That you're an
pass because they
idiot?
didn't say I couldn't do it. They all knew that I could, but let's get these signs down. Let's let them know how we feel about this, Bay Fam. This right here is ridiculous. So give a big push, get these signs down, and
Still be hot.
come back.
I'm gonna
Make sure
start a
they did it
fire.
like in a month or so. Make sure that they took these
All right,
signs
so
down.
let's go back here real quick. Where was that?
One back there, and I think that's kind of
I
where
think that's coming up
where they
here.
mean in the lobby.
Let's see. Is this it? No. There was a point where he had text on the screen talking about how these guys are bullies and they go hands on and all this nonsense, and none of that happened. We just watched the entire video, and none of the things that he claimed that they were doing happened. Talk about building a false narrative. Like the text he puts on the screen while he's editing the video so doesn't match what's actually happening in the video. It's so transparently, blatantly obvious that they're building a false narrative, and yet their fans eat it up.
Because they're
I'm,
uneducated.
yeah, they're definitely uneducated. There's no question about that. These guys are idiots. He's got 25,000 subs. All that proves is that there's 25,000 idiots. But again, with the whole thing about engaging and all that, right? That goes back to the whole thing that is becoming more and more popular nowadays of auditing private businesses and stuff. If the cops are not supposed to engage you and you're looking for police engagement, what do? You harass normal citizens so that they call the cops, and the cops have no choice but to engage you. And one of the whole things with all of this is like, well, there's no law saying that. There's no law to back that up. There's no law, blah, 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 blah. So are we supposed to believe that to increase our freedom, to increase our civil liberties, the only way the government can do that is by making a law for literally everything? If you go like this, oh, well, there's no law saying I can't go like that. Like, there has to be a law that specifically states that you're not allowed to film inside a juvenile facility before you can say you're not allowed to film in a juvenile facility. So then how does that apply to me in my home? Oh, well, I'm not in your home. I'm in a public building. Okay, yeah, I get that idea, but that's not how you're stating it. You're stating it like there has to be a law. There has to be a law. So let's make even more laws. That'll help our freedom. Let's make even more control from the government. That these guys are absolutely insane. They want a law on the books for every single possible action that any human could ever possibly take. The book of laws would be infinite. It's insane. It's absolute insanity. And they want to make common sense and common human decency the law. Well, there's no law saying that I can't walk up to you and say, fuck you, you cocksucker piece of shit. Like, well, yeah, okay, technically that's legal, but that doesn't make it a nice thing to do. That doesn't mean that people who don't like being told that are horrible, evil, rotten people because they don't like being talked to that way. You wouldn't like being talked to that way, but I legally can, so it's okay to do it as long as I'm filming it. Let's see, what do we got? Auditors don't know how to edit. Yeah, the videos with the dead air. Their videos. That's one of the things that, like, I don't understand about the complaints they make about what we're doing. We make their videos watchable because there's so much dead air and nonsense. There is a law in the books called the First Amendment, freedom of the press. The press is allowed to go anywhere, and the general public is. I didn't see any press people in that video. If there were any there that I missed, let me know. Because I didn't see one. Let's see. This is why a lot of people do not take these cameramen seriously. You can't take them seriously because everything they say is a bunch of garbage and nonsense. Just like the video we started with today with the news report from a few days ago, right? The auditor, it turns out, was auditing, and they interviewed him and this and that. Oh, and he's one of the guys who stormed the Capitol, but he's a good person. He never would do anything wrong. Oh boy. Not good, not good, not good. Let's see what else we got going in the comments here. I'm the press. I'm more of a legitimate press person than they are. I cover newsworthy stories about these jackwagons. Trespass to foot. He has no legal business at that office. Real press would obey the signs, ask permission, present ID, treat people with respect. Nothing a frauditor would do. That's exactly right. Everyone, especially Auditing America, right, loves to talk about, well, what our founding fathers say if they saw you did. The Constitution was written at a time when duels were still legal. If somebody said something to insult you, you could legally shoot them. So you're trying to tell me that our founding fathers, like George Washington, if somebody walked up to him and started swearing at him and calling him names, that he'd stand there and say, well, the First Amendment says you're allowed to do that, so go ahead, buddy, call me names. No. I mean, I don't know. I can't go back in time, but from what I know about George Washington, he'd probably beat the crap out of the dude, and then the dude would get arrested for being a jackwagon. So that's not a good excuse. People always seem to, these people specifically, seem to never understand that the reason freedom of the press exists in the first place is because back in those days, if you wrote a news story that in any way insulted the king, you could go to jail for that. And they wanted that to stop. And not just specifically that, but being able to have journalistic integrity and report on the facts of what's going on. But the problem with these guys is they are creating the story. A real journalist will see something going on and they will film it and report on it. These guys cause things to go on and call that journalistic integrity. That's absolutely the exact opposite of journalistic integrity. When you're making yourself the story, when you're creating the story, you don't turn on the nightly news and see the guy run up there with the camera and shoot somebody and say, oh, somebody just got shot and we're journalists, so we're filming it. And yeah, okay, well, they're not shooting people. Yeah, but it's the same idea. The basic idea of you creating the story. The cops are standing there minding their own business. So let's keep giving them a hard time and giving them a hard time and giving them a hard time until they respond. That's not filming a story. That's creating a story. And 90% of the time, especially nowadays, it isn't even nothing. Like the two videos we watched today, in both of them, nothing happened. And the frauditors are painting it like, look at these horrible tyrants treating me this way. In both of the videos we watched today, neither of them at any point did anyone ask them to stop filming or ask them for ID. They didn't even do that. So, because if your big argument is, and I think this is an insane argument anyway, but the big argument that all these guys have is it's an unlawful directive for a cop to ask me for ID unless I'm in the process of committing a crime or they witnessed me commit a crime, which is insane. But even if that was true, in neither of these cases did the cops demand ID or ask, or it even come up at all. Who are you? What's your name? None of that. Oh, yeah, we don't allow filming in here. Oh, well, I'm going to film anyway. Oh, well, okay. And he kept filming. Again, where's the problem? I said it earlier. The fact that these videos even exist at all prove that nobody stopped you from filming. If they did, how would you have the video to post? That's why they don't call the post office and ask permission. Let me tell you something. And it's on one of my videos I did in the past. It was part of a thing I did where I did a post office audit. And I specifically said, hey, you know how you do a post office audit and how I was able to do one? I did this crazy thing. I know that this is completely insane and almost impossible for anyone to understand. But see, the reason I was able to do a post office audit and nobody bothered me is because I did this crazy thing. Check this out. Wait, shh, don't tell anybody. I asked for permission. That's all I had to do. I just had to ask. And they were like, yeah, sure, go ahead, film. What a concept. Causality. Yep. Let's see. Oh, frauditors will claim Walmart is public because they could enter. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, David. Because they didn't do anything wrong and they knew it. Okay. Exactly. It's not. Okay, let me go back for a second. All right. Listen, it's not whether or not he did anything illegal or anything wrong. It's the way they sell it. It's their story. It's their false narrative. It's advertising this video as like, look at all these horrible, evil tyrants and the way they treat me. So what did they do? Literally nothing. Oh, but I'm not going to get clicks and views and make AdSense revenue if I post a video where nothing happens. So I'm going to make it sound like these big, horrible, evil tyrants did. I paused it to show that. And like I said, I never saw the video before. I didn't know that literally nothing was going to happen. But when the text popped on the screen, I paused it and I said, what does this say? He's accusing them of being aggressive, of going hands-on, of doing all these horrible, terrible things to him. And then you play the video and what happens? None of that. Literally none of it. But he had to go out of his way to put that text on the screen to try and sell it that way. Hey, what's up, Kick? The narrative means everything to sensationalist idiots with cameras. Truth is the only thing they hate. Yes, you got to always build a false narrative that has, what do I always say? The narrative never matches the content. And it doesn't. They always have something completely different than what's going on listed in the video. So I'm actually having a good time doing this. So let me see if I can find another one for you guys. Because this is interesting. I kind of like doing this, going through videos for the first time with you guys, because I get to hear your responses as well, as opposed to just me looking at it and then posting it. So let me see what else we got from these idiots today. Let's see. Something new. 5 days ago, 2 days ago, I already played that one. Oh, here we go. Cop gets triggered when man oh, and this is Anselmo's new one. He's filming the TSA. Oh, that's smart. Let's get that one going. And because you got to love people auditing the TSA, right? Because that's not baiting at all, especially if you're not taking a flight, right? Oh boy. So let's get into that, and let's look at Anselmo's new one.
Please, sir. Don't walk up onto me. Why? I'm just working on a video. Working on a video, sir. I don't have to discuss my day with you, sir.
Okay, that's fine.
Why are you getting so close to me, my friend?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, well, you could keep your distance 6 feet. 6 feet because of COVID.
COVID's over.
Oh, it's over because you say so? Because you say so?
So what are you filming?
I'm making a video about the TSA. Is that a problem? Is there a problem?
I'm asking you.
Well, you seem your body language. That's what. Well, I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
You're the one getting close to me. Why you approaching me?
I don't know what you're doing.
Well, am I legally required to tell you?
No, No, I'm just asking you.
Well,
You gonna tell me?
I just told you I'm doing a video about TSA, bro.
Okay.
But you kept getting real close. I don't know. I'm flattered, but I don't roll that way. You know what I'm saying? What's your name and badge number?
Torres. 10.
Torres.
Torres.
Torres. Huh? Well, guess
What's your name?
guess what?
What's your name?
Taurus.
All right.
I just told you because it's funny, but yeah, it is Taurus. You guys asked me my name on my way in. Are you a cop? Huh?
Cleveland Police.
All right. How long you been a cop?
20 years.
20? Do you guys swear? Well,
Oh, yeah.
actually, yeah, sure. I'm actually doing a video about the Constitution. How serious do you take your oath to the Constitution? Hmm? Do you take it seriously? Oh my God! Yes,
Just like you just told me.
Yes, you do. You're a public servant, right?
Torres, badge 10.
Okay, but I'm just asking a simple question about the
Constitution is serious, of course.
All right, good. That's the most important thing about your job. Could you tell us? Could you tell us what the Third Amendment is?
Selling hats.
What's the Third Amendment? You know the Third
Selling
Amendment?
hats.
I got some hats, snappies, like
Is that for
snapbacks.
sale?
No, I don't sell hats.
Huh?
No, I don't sell hats. I buy them.
And you collect them?
Yep. I'm just an idiot, but with a snapback. Nah, it's just
80 with a snapback?
yeah, it's just a joke we say. Now, do you know what the Third Amendment is?
You?
Oh, I do. I'm quizzing you on it because
No, you're not quizzing me.
you swore to protect the
You're not
Constitution.
quizzing me.
Well, you're the one
quiz.
that swore to protect the
Torres,
Constitution.
badge 10.
I hate that Third Amendment thing
But
he's
I'm
been
just
doing
asking,
lately.
like, you guys swear to protect the Constitution, correct? So when you do that, you're supposed to know at least the Third Amendment. I'm not telling you. to tell me the
You're
whole-
supposed to know at least the Third Amendment.
You don't.
That-
You don't. But if
That's probably the least important amendment to know. Quartering troops during wartime? Like, how is that should be the least they know? That should be the last thing they're worried about because that hasn't come up in 149 years. And I didn't just throw that number out off the top of my head. That's the last time that actually came up in court as a thing was 149 years ago. But if you're a cop, the first thing you should do is memorize that. And even like I said, the whole idea of just doing the TSA at all is insane to me, especially if you're not even on a flight. You have no business with these people. And I was just talking just now. This whole idea that these guys are eating up all the cops' time, and they love to accuse the cops of wasting their time with me when you could do. But if you weren't baiting the cops in the first place, then they could go after real criminals. Somebody could be trying to walk through the TSA with a gun right now, or there's a hijacker or something. You don't know, but they can't worry about that because they got to worry about you being an idiot.
Torres, badge 10.
I know.
That's what I have to answer.
that's fine.
Cleveland Police.
That's fine.
But
But
see the video.
Huh?
That's a boring video. TSA.
actually, our videos get thousands of views.
Really?
Wow.
You see? What do you think about the Fourth Amendment?
Wow.
I'm asking you.
Wow.
Well, I think it's very important, sir.
They're all important.
Well, they are. If they were, you'd know the Third Amendment.
All right, bro. Let's see your video.
It's
Let's see how big your
hilarious.
video is.
I'll tag you. Look.
News. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. People exist on Earth and do things.
Well, let me
Whoa.
ask you something, Torres. Are you Puerto Rican?
Are you an
Well,
idiot?
You need to
Are you?
stand up for the team.
Are you?
Come on, bro. With this face, you can't tell I'm Puerto
Why
Rican
you ask me?
because I can tell that you're.
Tell?
I can tell that you're Puerto Rican. But
Okay.
you can make us look real good, man. If you tell us the Third Amendment.
You'd make the Puerto Rican community look
I
great if
am.
you
I'm
punched this dude in the
educating
head.
Everybody here on the Constitution,
Go ahead.
our freedoms, what the government says that we have, and then we don't really have. Well, a lot of people say we have freedom of the press. and cops are supposed to protect that. But as soon as you start filming a police officer, they get real worried real quick, and they get real, their behavior changes, and they start getting real close and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how.
What law is that
That's why I
says
was
they
filming
can't
you.
do
I was
that?
actually-
What law
I
is
was
that?
actually auditing you.
Is that it?
What do you mean? Is that it?
That's the amendment.
What's the First Amendment?
What's
You don't
the
know
third?
it?
What's the third?
No soldiers in my home. No soldiers in my home, sir.
No
That's the
soldiers
Third
in my
Amendment.
home.
Now,
That's the
First
Third
Amendment
Amendment.
is.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. All right. So I've always said that I don't think Anselmo even understands the Third Amendment. No soldiers in my home. Now, before a few weeks ago, he was claiming that it was you're not allowed to quarantine, not quarter, which is what it says, but quarantine, which is completely different, soldiers in your home. Now he's saying no soldiers in my home. So is he trying to say that if I join the military and I come home in my parents' house during my off time and I sleep there, that they're breaking the Third Amendment because there's a soldier in their home? This guy has no idea what he's talking about on any level at all.
Multiple things. Do you know it? You know it.
You tell me.
But you're the one that's supposed to be a pro at this.
But you know it.
But do you not know it? If you don't know it, I'll tell you.
Tell me.
But do you not know it?
You tell me.
Well, I'm telling thousands right now, since you're the one that swore to protect them, and you choose not to educate people on them, but to get them to waive their rights. Yes, the First Amendment is freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, which means we have the right to work on a story in a public place and publish it. You're the press. There you go with the weird questions, brother.
That's a weird question,
sir. What does the First Amendment say? Freedom of the press means we all have the freedom to be the press. We are all the press. You see, you don't need a
Wait a minute. So the cop's standing there looking at his phone. Anselmo's talking to him, talking about how, look at you violating my rights and going against the Constitution and this and that. By standing there, he's not arresting anyone. I don't see him doing any of that. I don't see him asking you not to film. I don't see him doing any of the things that you're bringing up. And he just said that the First Amendment says freedom of the press. That means that everyone is press. It's in the First Amendment. I've read the First Amendment. It does not say every single person on earth has the right to call themselves press. It says that the press is free. They can publish any story they want, basically, is what it comes down to. But there's still a thing called journalistic integrity, but we're going to ignore that, right?
$1 billion to be the press. You don't need any. There's not an agency that provides those credentials.
Yes, there is.
You don't need to be Fox, NBC. You don't need all this money. All you need is the will and the freedom. You need to be here, an American citizen, where you have the freedom to criticize the government. Like right now.
Okay. Now, let's address what he just said real quick. And I was thinking of actually doing this myself. I've been looking into it a little bit. I haven't done it yet, but we'll see. Everything that he just said was debunked a few days ago by Blue Bacon, because you don't have to be Fox or NBC. Well, guess what? Blue Bacon isn't Fox or NBC, but he went out of his way to get legitimate press credentials. So there is an agency that does that. It is a legitimate thing, and you don't have to be a multi-billion-dollar news organization to get it. You just have to apply for it and whatever. I think there's fees, but he's wrong. He's wrong. Just completely wrong. Just completely made that up off the top of his head because he's a frauditor and that's what they do.
I'm not saying you're a bad person, but you don't know jack shit about our rights. You don't know the first.
How do you know he doesn't?
saying.
try to violate
Everything
my
you're
rights,
saying is wrong.
then
He's not. He's just standing there
I
talking.
am. I'm educating millions on the Constitution, sir. We have over 100 million combined views on the internet.
Well, that's 100 million
So
idiots.
that's not just good. That's fucking great.
What's up, brother? What kind of color? I don't know. They didn't say. Probably usual time. Probably the usual time. I would guess. I don't know. Depends on the flights.
Would you go to a doctor that didn't know how to check your blood pressure? You wouldn't do that. So if you're a police officer, we expect you to be a pro in our rights, you know, brother? You know, when you wake up in the morning and you're a basketball player or an athlete, what do? You stretch, you do stuff like that so you can come prepared. Now, I understand you've been a cop for 20 years. It's been a long time since you graduated from the academy. With just 6 months of training, it's not enough for you to remember for a lifetime our constitutional rights. You know, a lot of people die for the rights that we enjoy in this country. So officers like yourself, when they become police officers and they swear that they're going to protect that, we the people take that very serious. You know, like for instance, when somebody breaks the law, you don't give them a chance. You take them straight to jail because they broke the law. But how does it feel to be the one held accountable and and being asked questions? You know. Well, I'm doing pretty much the same thing. Well, police officers really don't arrest each other. You leave that to internal affairs, and internal affairs is nowhere near. We don't see internal affairs patrolling the streets, checking up on you guys. So guess whose job it is to check up on you guys? Over here. We the people. We're the ones that's supposed to keep an eye on this. There's a lot of extra groping by these people over here. We've already seen them touch. Too much touching. You know, we're the United States. We need better equipment then. You can't just be touching people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah, groping,
Too
touching,
much hands
yeah.
on. How do you feel if somebody starts? We don't got to call nobody. We just everybody got to get together.
Okay, wait a minute. Here he goes again.
protest, you know?
Here he goes again, going against his own words. He will, if you have to put yourself through the X-ray machine, he will say that the X-ray machine in and of itself is a violation of illegal search and seizure laws. But now he's saying that touching people is a violation of that, and we should have better equipment. But when you do have equipment and you don't touch, then he claims that no, you can't win. No matter what, he's always going to claim that they're violating his rights. No matter what they do, you can't win with these idiots.
You know, peacefully. And then that's when shit happens. You think Homeland Security is gonna listen to me if I call them? No. I can make 100 videos.
This is his job.
Oh, no.
Everybody's doing their job.
Oh, I understand. But you know what? He swore to protect our rights. You know what I'm saying? You didn't. you well, I didn't swear, but I promise that I'm gonna, stand up for our rights, for your rights. He's a good guy. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying it's fucked up how the process, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be touched. And when they touch you, they go all the way up here into your legs and stuff. That's not cool, you know? And I understand it's for security, but remember what Benjamin Franklin said: those who sacrifice security for their liberties shall and deserve neither. So we need better ways, better ways. I'm not saying they shouldn't. It's just not reasonable the way they're doing it. And the only way for us to change is by documenting and publishing these type of videos. Have a good day. He said you're only doing your job, but
That's their job.
it's their job, but it's your job too to protect. So if you see anybody being unreasonably searched from here, your job is to go over there and be like,
You don't like them searching you, then you don't fly.
that's the thing. But
That's the way it works.
this is a government agency. It's a federal agency, and we're flying through private companies. So then I'd rather get searched by a private company, not by the government, you know?
Homeland Security suggested. They'll probably listen to you.
So he wants another
If
9/11?
if you're American Airlines and I just want to fly through you, then American Airlines should hire their own security. But you
And-
know, the government wants.
But
to
then
get
you're going to
involved in
complain that they're violating your rights.
I think once you notice what I was doing, and once I gave you a little bit more information on what I was doing, you de-escalated, but you were acting highly suspicious at first. Yes, you got way too close. Way too close.
What law is that?
Do you agree? Maybe a little. Maybe a little. All right, guys. So let us know what you think on the comment section about Torres.
You ignore comments from people who disagree.
Torres.
I've tried.
Oh yeah. Torres, the only reason I gave you my name is because I gave it on the way in to this area. You see, guys, I'm not on the outside of the security. I've been already past the security checkpoint.
Yay. So what? So what's happening here? He's filming still. So who stopped him? Oh, now the video just ends abruptly. Probably because nothing happens. But of course, he's going to try to sell the video as the TSA agents are doing this and that horrible stuff. So once again, that's 3 random videos I pulled this morning of audits. And in every single one of them, nobody did anything to even attempt to stop them from filming. In none of them did anyone even attempt to make unlawful demands or any of this nonsense. And what? Nothing. Nothing happens. And they make it sound like these horrible tyrants are destroying their freedom by what? By not engaging you? By handing you their business card? By having a conversation? I need to educate David Perillo. Yeah, earlier there was a little bit of a... See, when the videos are on, I'm not really watching the chat too close. He's... Earlier, Unclean was here and timed him out, and there was a bit of controversy over that because it's like, well, I didn't say anything like homophobic or racist or anything. And it's like, I said, well, you know, I trust Unclean Hands. You know, he's one of my mods for a reason. But at the same time, if you just disagree, that isn't necessarily something that I'm going to get into a fight over. It could be grounds for a good conversation. Who knows? It all depends on if they're willing to actually talk or if they're just going to do the whole auditor game of talking in circles for no reason and having a stupid logic that makes no sense. Just because you own a cell phone doesn't make you press. Is that like a law? Yeah, right? Where's the law that says that? See, that's one of the reasons why I love it when people get close to these guys, because they love to say, well, you can't tell me not to do that. That is not a law. But then if somebody walks close to them, they're like, you have to back up. You have to give me my personal space. Is that a law? Where's the law that says you have personal space? Oh, well, 6 feet. Well, that's not a law. That's an ordinance. That's a COVID thing. I thought you guys didn't believe in COVID. I thought you guys weren't. Lies, 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 lies.
Not only that, every state has its own laws.
Yeah. Well, every state's different. Yeah. Yes. Every state's different. Every city's different. And that goes back to asking about press credentials, right? There are press credentials for specific organizations. There are press credentials for specific states, counties, cities. There are press credentials for specific events, right? If I want to go, because during football season, I always cover the Bears games, but I can't just walk on the field just because I have a phone and film from on the field. I would have to get press credentials from the city that would allow me to do so. But if I did that, I would be able to. And if not, I could film from my seat. I don't have to stand on the field to film. Ain't nobody going to throw me in jail for that. Oh, boy. The field is private. Yeah, exactly. But I'm depressed. Does that make me press? Yeah. The field is private. Yes, it is, but I'm using that as an example of how press credentials, because you're asking how you can get press credentials, depending on what you're talking about. In other words, the argument that they make when they say there's no such organization as a place that gives press credentials, that's what they're talking about. There is no federal press credential that you can get, because just like local laws under the 10th Amendment, right, there are specific ordinances for specific locations, specific cities, specific counties, specific events where you could get press credentials depending on what it is. I was using the football game as an example of that. You would have to get press credentials from them to go onto their field. It wasn't whether or not it was private or public. The idea was, how can you possibly get press credentials? Well, you have to go to the organization that, depending on what you're trying to do, you're trying to be just a general independent journalist. Well, then you have to look into what you need in your area where you want to film. What organization handles press credentials for that specific location? And I was using Soldier Field as an example of a specific location. Whatever. Let's see. Selmo likes to use this cherry-picked version of the Constitution and nothing else. Yep. Yeah. Simple background check. TSA. Limited public forum. And that's the other thing. Yeah. See, you can't. Public is public. There aren't any specific agencies. No, that's not true. And Internet God brought it up. Or wait, was it? Yeah. It's not. Public is public, period. No, just like he said, there's limited public forum. There's, come on, help me out, guys. What are some of the other terms they use? I covered it. I know there's a bunch. There's different types. Oh, traditional public forum, limited public forum, the different types of public forums. For example, if a business is open to the public, that does not mean that you could just walk in there and do whatever you want. People always like to use the no shirt, no shoes, no service example. You can't walk into Walmart naked and they have to let you do it just because it's a public place, because it's not a public place. It's a private business. They serve the public, they're open to the public, but they have their own rules and regulations, and they can do that. When people talk about discrimination and how there are laws against that, it specifies in the Civil Rights Code that they're talking about religion, color, national origin, right, sexuality, things like that. So they can't legally refuse service to you because you're Jewish, but they can refuse service to you for being an asshole and causing trouble in their place of business and not following their rules and regulations, as long as their rules and regulations do not violate the laws, which they don't. Telling you to keep your clothes on doesn't violate a law. Telling you that if you come in their business and they could refuse service for any reason, and even if they did refuse service to you for one of those reasons, you sue them. You take that up in court. You don't argue with the guy until the cops have to drag you out of the building for trespassing. Let's watch it now. Let's watch what? What are we talking about? They always like to say they're filing a lawsuit. Yeah, they're very rarely do any of them even get the lawsuits filed, let alone win. Anyone, it's like with Chile, right? Oh, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue. Anyone could file a lawsuit. KFAR, what did I miss? Well, I've been on for a while now. I started with a news report where they were talking about Erie County audits. They did an interview with him, and he was talking about how he's just a sweet, innocent, guy who's just trying to stand up for the First Amendment. And then they showed footage of him storming the Capitol on January 6th to show what a good guy he is. And then after that, I just started showing some random videos, and we've been watching them together. And I've noticed a common thread through all of them. It was actually kind of cool. I didn't plan it that way, but it just worked out that way, where every single one of these videos, if you, oh, thank you 99 for joining the channel. I appreciate that. So anyway, they go through, and in all three of these videos that I showed so far today, they all happen to have a common thread, which was that these guys in every one advertise the video. If you look at the, you know, the thumbnails and the descriptions and everything, like these horrible, evil tyrants are violating their rights and doing all these horrible, vicious things. And then you watch a video, and in every single one of them, the cops did literally nothing. Nothing. They didn't even like ask for their ID. And I'm not even going to say demand. Not only did they not, they didn't even ask. They didn't stop them from filming. They didn't ask them not to. They did nothing. They just, oh, yeah, oh, you need help? No. All right. That's basically what it came down to in all of them. And all of them are being advertised like, oh, look at these horrible, evil tyrants. What did the cop do? Can I help you? No. Oh, can I have your card? Sure. And you definitely got to lie to audit. And one of the big things that well, there are a couple things that I've been bringing up about this is one, and they even talked about this in the news story I showed at the beginning. Police are being instructed not to engage in these people, right? Which I believe is one of the things that's pushing the increase in these people auditing private businesses and private individuals. Because if you audit the cops and they're specifically being told not to engage, then how do you force an engagement so you can make a video? You harass a private citizen, so they call the cops, and then the cops have to engage. They have no choice. And that's how you bait them into doing it. All right, let's see what else we got. Got a lie to fraud it. Good on you. They all serve the same group of coaches, which, oh, yeah, and that reminds me of the other thing I wanted to say. In one of the videos I was just doing, the video before that, they're complaining about how all these cops come out and ask him what's going on. He tells them they leave. And he says, I wish that these guys would learn their lesson and just leave us alone. They need to just leave us alone and not talk to us. But in the very next video I covered, right after that, they're going out of their way not to engage. And the guy's saying, why aren't they saying anything to me? They should do their job. Their job is to ask me what kind of help I need. Their job is to come and serve me. Like, you can't have it both ways. The goal of the audits can't be to get them not to bother you and to get mad when they don't bother you. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, dog's barking. We got company. Anyway, all of these issues, what a segue. All of the issues we're discussing today are covered in my new book, The Frauditor's Handbook, available now on Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is unbelievable what these guys get away with. But anyway, company has arrived, so it's time to wrap this up. So I'll talk to you guys later on. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you again, 99, for joining the channel. I appreciate it very much. And I'll probably be back on later because I got some other stuff I wanted to cover today. So you'd love to have a panel discussion with me. You know what? My email is it's hezekai@gmail.com. We could set that up. Maybe we could do that tonight, since I was thinking of coming back tonight anyway. We'll figure something out. But in the meantime, I'll talk to you guys later. And as I always say at the end of all my videos, oh, yay, yay.